Alexis messaged me the other day and she's like, "What are your thoughts on all the scuttlebutt about Jim Carrey?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she sent me the longest message I'd seen in a while.
It was very interesting, and I had already seen it leaking on the internet. So I
Did
was aware before you, but you're never on socials.
I am always intrigued by this stuff, but I am not online enough. So you're always the trendy one.
I always catch the gossip, the chaos.
I love it because the internet is not just gossiping, it's building a full investigative documentary off of one Jimmy Kimmel clip.
I saw it immediately, thought, oh no, the internet is about to spiral. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, they reference him mentioning the Illuminati. He even mentions children getting kidnapped. It was kind of weird to watch it. And
Mhm.
I somewhat remember it a little bit.
There's a lot going on. So, for anyone who hasn't seen it, people are analyzing his posture, his faces, and the way he moves his hands. And suddenly the comments are like, he looks different. That's not him. Something's off.
Right? It went from he looks older to he's a clone real fast.
It's like we skipped 12 logical steps there.
Seriously. The internet's wild.
So, one of the biggest things people are saying is that he's had too much work done, like Botox, fillers, whatever. They're pointing to how his face moves differently than it used to.
Which, let's be honest, he's in his 60s. Aging plus Hollywood pressure equals tweaks. I did hear he was against any kind of cosmetic surgeries,
That's
but
what I was
Botox,
gonna say.
yeah. So
I heard that too. So that's kind of wonky. Now, wasn't he also with Johnny Wahlberg's wife? And she has an autistic son. And I think he was really good with him and really enjoyed him. And I feel like they were together a long time because it was like he was so attached to the son. But I do wonder what her take is on this. I think that would be one of the more interesting things to know. Like, what does she think about Jim Carrey right now? You should send her a message.
heck yeah, I will. I'll find her. I'll find her address and mail her a letter
Yeah.
and then get a
So,
lawsuit.
but instead of just maybe cosmetic work, the internet goes, his facial structure has changed. People are seriously saying he's been cloned. I'm so confused by this. So that is not the original Jim Carrey. They're bringing
Yeah.
up color looking different, differences in facial symmetry, and even hand dominance.
Yes, he's in videos. They're showing him that he's always dominant left-handed in everything he does, and then he recently was signing his autograph
Maybe
right-handed,
he's
so
ambidextrous. Has anyone
I
thought about that?
I'm ambidextrous, like, I do everything right-handed, but I can only write left-handed, so who knows? I can't write with even though I'm ambidextrous, I'm not in writing specifically, so it'd be really
Okay.
hard, but a signature I mean, that wouldn't be authentic either, because your signature you should always do with the same hand, shouldn't you?
You would
I
think
mean,
so. I mean, unless you're
yeah,
that good, which I
but
can barely use my left hand for
yeah,
any
so
particular sport.
it's
Yeah,
crazy,
right. So, as if humans can't use both hands on camera, suddenly everyone's a forensic anthropologist.
which I agree with. I feel like people just come out of the woodworks with all these theories of what's
Right.
going
Like they
on.
find this one video and they just like hone in on it, and that's like all they're going to look at. But
And
there's like
some people
50
are
others.
really good at finding any clip out there, and who knows, it could be a movie clip for all we know, but they can put it together and make it seem real. It's crazy.
It's true. So, the girlfriend tragedy. Now, here's where it gets heavier. So, people are dragging back up the death of his girlfriend, Kathriona White, from 2015, which I did not know anything about this Kathriona. That sounds like a made up name.
And guess what? This was shortly after the clip on Jimmy Kimmel. Just
Yeah. And it says
saying.
there were investigations, lawsuits, and allegations. It was messy and tragic. How did I miss that?
I did briefly hear about that. So none of that was conspiracy. That was real life heartbreak.
But the internet keeps trying to make it bigger. Hollywood secrets narrative, like that event unlocks something or that he knows too much. So another camp says he's mentally spiraling. They point to his philosophical interviews, the there is no me statements, the ego death talk and reality is an illusion type of stuff.
which honestly sounds more spiritual than unstable to me.
I don't know. But if you're not used to hearing someone talk like that, it can sound dramatic. And I always feel like that kind of talk sounds dramatic, like over the top. I don't know how I feel about that. So, what about the terminal illness? Others say he's hiding a disease. So, let's be clear there's no confirmed report of this. That's pure internet speculation.
Yes, and it's wild how quickly someone can look tired on camera and suddenly they're secretly dying, according to Facebook.
Yes. So, aging plus different lighting equals medical diagnosis now. I don't understand.
Right.
But I did notice his chin is totally different.
Botox,
Seems like it's more chiseled out, almost like the chin's protruding and goes up and then round cheeks. It just looks like a totally different chin line. Maybe he'd
may-
had a chin implant.
but he's against surgery, supposedly. Or maybe he really is
Not
cloned.
anymore. Maybe he succumbed to the fact that he was old and he wanted to look younger like all the other Hollywood stars. I mean, who
Yeah.
doesn't want to look younger?
I
I don't
mean, there's some stars like an Amanda Bynes and what she looks like before after. I mean, mental
That
health
was
is
intense.
real. Yeah.
So here's what I think is happening. Jim Carrey has always been intense. He's not a subtle character. He's theatrical, expressive, he's deep and weird in a creative way.
Mhm.
So when someone like that gets older and stops caring about PR polished interviews, people don't know how to process that. So they fill in the gaps with conspiracy and just thoughts.
And the more mysterious he is, the more theories they create.
Definitely. So we basically have three groups on the internet here. So one saying he's unstable. Two, he's spiritually awakened and sees through Hollywood. And three, he's a clone with altered eye color.
Which is crazy. His eyes did change colors, but did he have contacts in? And can your eyes change colors? So the internet really said, why choose one?
Yeah, they're digging in deep on all three for sure.
Yeah.
Or, and hear me out, maybe he's just a 60 something man who's experienced massive trauma and also massive fame. He lost someone, maybe questioning identity, and maybe doesn't care about fitting in the celebrity mold anymore. But
That's
I don't know. That's not a conspiracy, that's life.
honestly, sometimes I think when celebrities start performing for the public, we start panicking. And he did go away for a while. And he did say the Sonic, I guess, was the last thing he did, which I didn't watch Sonic, but he said he needed money because he had a lot of spending habits. So who
I would
knows?
assume so. So we're just so used to polished, media trained versions of people. When someone drops a mask, it feels unsettling. So, Sarah, if you had to pick, where do you land? Clone, enlightened, or over analyzed?
I mean, Clone sounds very interesting, and I wouldn't put it past Hollywood, but I'd really have to do some research and see some actual factual evidence. So I'm going to say too much Botox, life changes, maybe trauma, accident, and had to get his face reconstructed and nobody knows. I mean, I really don't know, but something has definitely changed in him. What
Yeah.
about you?
Uh, so there's no actual proof of something wild. So I'm chalking this up to aging, lighting, and internet being bored. I do feel like he had something done. I don't know. I just think maybe he changed his mind on his outlook of plastic surgery.
What else could it be? Like you said, I didn't look into it that much, so I'll have to go study his chin after
Yeah. I
this.
mean, Jim Carrey might be different than he was in 1994, but so are we. I don't think
Hey,
I look the same. Do you? I don't know. Maybe I do.
no. The
I,
only difference between him and us is we're not being zoomed in by 3 million strangers, all with opinions. I don't think I could handle being a famous person.